Hey, what's up, guys? So I wanted to make another video as the part two here for the email copy. So I went through this email copy in the first one, in part one, and I wanted to go through the second part of the copy in a second video, just to give it a bit more breakdown as well. So I got an email recently from a subscriber who was asking for some review. So feel free, if you are a subscriber, you're watching this channel, to send through your email copy, and I'll try to make a video in the future reviewing your copy. Or any questions that you might have, and I think that's probably a good way of kind of like structuring the channel a little bit as well. So let's get into this. So the first thing I would say is, again, I mentioned this in the first video, but the thing I like here is it's short, it's to the point, it's plain text, it's plain HTML. It's I'm not sure how many words this is, but it's probably under 75, I think. Short to the point, very easy to read, not a big block. I like the fact as well that you have a soft CTA. So I made a quick bit. You're using sort of a lead magnet strategy. And then, yeah, soft CTA, interest-based CTA, mind if I send it over? I like that. That's really, really good. I would say, though, that in between this part here is the thing that needs the most changing. I mentioned in the first video that the subject line can be really, really simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to include their name or anything like that. In my opinion, I mean, just test this out and see what works for you. But I just think the best strategy for subject lines, if you want to get your emails opened and like seen and read and everything, is just to literally use one or maybe two words around what the email is even about, right? So for this, and I mentioned in the first one, you could literally put it as, outbound campaigns and ads more effective in attract inbound leads. Quick video. Just put video, like literally video, like something like that, right? So simple as that. Just because it looks like an internal email, it looks like an email that it doesn't look like a sales email, if that makes sense. So that's just my strategy and my thoughts on on subject lines, but you can also use the basic quick question, things like that. So it just depends on what you prefer, what gives you the best results, but keep it simple, don't overthink it. The next thing is congrats on company name growth. In my opinion, this is just super generic. Of course, using the variable of company name, but it could be a lot better in terms of personalizing a lot better. Congrats on company name growth it's just too generic in my opinion, and it doesn't. Actually, it does. I know you're always on the hunt to grow it further, so I thought I'd reaching out. So the thing I do actually like about this is that you tie in the congrats on growth to grow it further. So you do technically tie it into the rest of the email, which is good. So whatever you use in your first line, you want to tie it into the rest of the email. So I think that section is actually good in that sense. But I would maybe like either segment the list, have a specific list that you're reaching out to. We have maybe a couple more variables that kind of show like, hey, this is why I'm reaching out to you. Or use AI to personalize that first line. So again, you could say like the whole email is around, we have a two-step integration that can make your outbound campaigns and ads more effective and also attract inbound leads. I made a quick video going over the strategy for company name. Mind if I send it over? So again, this line is great. My only thing about this is we have a two-step integration to make your outbound campaigns and ads more effective and also attract. So it's like, I feel like there's too many benefits and it's not tangible enough. So you're basically saying you'll make their outbound campaigns and ads and inbound better. So basically like this magic pill will help all of these different things. And for a lot of people, it won't necessarily be super believable if you say like, yeah, we'll help this, we'll help this, we'll help this. But if you help one specific thing and try and tie it back to a tangible metric, so not just help you grow it because it's super like vague, have a specific number of how you helped another company do it. And the other thing as well that I would add in here is the social proof. So let's say you work with 2 or 3 other companies and you got them X result, use that. So we actually helped another company with our sister. We helped another company, and be specific about the company or the industry. If you can share the client's name, great. If you can't, then use something as close to it as possible. So yeah, we helped another say you're targeting marketing agency in XYZ place, do the same thing or do this, right? And then share the specific results that you got. So we helped them, I don't know, bring in 23 extra leads in 30 days from, special method using Instagram or something along those lines. Excuse me. My main point is just to make this line or this area specific and also potentially include social proof as well and how you helped those other companies hit this result. So instead of saying we can help you hit this result, it's better, and the next level up is if you say we worked with these other companies to help them hit this result, and they're actual companies, and people can like look them up. The best social proof is if people can look up those companies and see, right? Um, they may not always look them up, but if they recognize those companies, obviously if you say like, hey, we work with Nike and we did this, like people are going to know that, and these small companies, they might not know that. But I think really it's trying to make the case study specific to obviously who you're reaching out to. So if you're reaching out to marketing agencies, talk about how you helped another marketing agency do X and Y and help them achieve a result in a certain time frame. I know you're always on the hunt to grow it further, so I thought of reaching out to you. So my thing is, none of this is like bad. This is actually relatively decent. Like I like the fact that it's short. I just feel like this is relatively generic. Congrats on growth. It's just super open. So yeah, maybe personalize this a little bit more in the sense of like, hey, so you know what you could also do. You could on Clay, you could scrape basically LinkedIn headcount growth, and you could say, hey, saw on LinkedIn that you've grown 10% in the past 6 months. Nice job. Good stuff. Or like something along those lines, right? Right. So you can get more specific rather than congrats on growth. It's like you could say that to anyone, and people don't look as it doesn't look like that email's personalized to them. But if you were to scrape information from LinkedIn and pull the data of how much this company has grown, this is just one example of how you can personalize it. There's loads of more others, but how you've seen that they've grown like a specific amount, you'll be able to pull the information of how much percentage growth they've had. Then obviously just round it up. So you're not saying like, hey, I saw that you had 6.74% growth. Like it just looks weird. So I have to say like, hey, I saw you grow nearly 10% in the past 6 months. Like make it look natural. And then that can segue into the rest of your email. This is okay. I know you're always on the hunt to grow, although it's okay, but I feel like it could still be, it doesn't add too much to the email. So I would maybe cut this part out, honestly. Yeah, it doesn't add much. Um, they know you're reaching out to them. So yeah, I don't know. Just in my opinion, I don't think it adds too much. I know you're always on the hunt to grow. I mean, obviously the company's always like trying to grow. We have a two-step integration that can make your, so this is still, it's okay. Two-step integration, make your outbound campaigns and ads more effective. But again, I would just try and tie it to a metric. So I might put like, this would be maybe how I would rewrite it. And this is my thoughts. It's obviously name. And then I would put, we made I like, for me personally, the ones I prefer, like these are just the emails that work really well. It's just the one liners, like, or two line. So you have the initial and then you have the second line, which is like the offer. It's more direct response, but the direct response is basically for a lead magnet, which is here. So we made a less than 6 second video on how we helped. And then you could put like the name of the client or the name of the industry. So niche, you helped, right? That's similar to them. So you want to segment your lesson to that. Niche, you helped, how we helped a marketing agency hit, I don't know, it depends on what your system is, but hit, I don't know, let's just put 10K MRR. All right, something that's believable. It has to be a believable number, because if you start going crazy with your, like, it has to be specific to the case study. Just say what you did in the case study. If you've got the previous result before, just say what you did in the case study. It's like, it's believable. It's what you did, right? So just share that. Don't lie. Don't overpromise. Don't say we do this when you haven't done it. Just say what you did. It ends up being way more believable when it's like a more reasonable figure, because anyone can promise the world, right? And people do, and that's always one of the biggest objections people have, is people hate the fact that people have promised them the world before and they haven't delivered, right? So just don't be one of those people. We know on how we helped niche, so could be marketing agency hit 10K or more in I don't know, 57 days with our two-step integration system for two-step integration system. Maybe want to write a two-step integration system. Can I send it over? Literally like that. That's it. So super simple. So on LinkedIn that you've grown 10% in the past 6 months. Again, this maybe actually I would change now because this doesn't necessarily fit in here, but it could be an intro line. It could be like a fallback line if you can't find something else. And again, it just depends on what the offer is because it's very vague about what is it exactly that you do. Like I obviously assume that it's content, considering that the first one is content, but yeah, maybe mentioning something like two-step integration, content integration system or something. I don't know, something along those lines where it just tells them a little bit, like just an inkling of what you do, kind of send it over. Because if you just leave it super broad, like what the hell is it? It doesn't make any sense. Like it has to be vague enough that gets a curiosity, but it has to be specific enough that they don't just go like, what the hell even is this? So it's just like the pinpoint, and I don't know what that is because I don't know exactly what you're offering, but this is a rough idea. And then this maybe, yeah, like I said, I would probably change this just to align a bit more with here. Um, but other than that, that would probably be how I would go about rewriting this. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Hopefully this has been useful to you. I'm a big fan of the short and sweet kind of emails. So yeah, if this has been useful, please let me know in the comments below, and feel free to book a call with us if you're looking for help with done for you services. As always, we're actually pretty much capacity at the moment. We can take on maybe one more client at the moment. So feel free to book in a call below, and yeah, we'll speak to you soon.